How's it going?
It's going. We in here.
The Supreme Soup.
Yes, sir.
You want to talk about soup? How'd you get the name?
Hell yeah. Man, it was given to me by my brother's friend when I was a young child. I don't really know the exact reason. I did eat soup, but what child didn't? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just a name I had since I was
So when
6 years
when did
old.
you adopt the Supreme Soup?
Just I don't know, probably around like 2017. I used to go by Soup. That was just my stage name, Soup, and I added the Supreme to it to kind of,
Yeah,
just add to it, just differentiate, so just to be more specific, what type of soup, So yeah,
definitely. It's the
yeah,
Supreme Soup.
exactly, yeah.
That's
But
it's a nice.
also the it's also sort of a reference to when I was in school, when I went to Broome, I had a friend named Mo Preem, and we combined our names. He was just Preem, and I was just Soup, so we like formed a group called One Supreme. So it's also a reference to that as well.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So how'd you get started making music?
Um, sort of with my guy Mo Preem. I was just that was the first person I recorded with. I had rapped before that in high school, like 12 years ago or so. I was in high school, and I was doing poetry assignments for English class, and I was just like, why don't I just rap?
Yeah.
'Cause that's poetry, and that comes naturally. I liked rap music since I was a child, and so yeah, I started to rap. And when I went to Broome, they had a studio available, and so me and my guy Preem, we just got together and started recording in there. We did it everywhere. We did record in the studio, record in the closet,
Yeah.
wherever we could. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into like actually recording, making music.
What was the drive to record so much? Because you said you were recording as much as you could wherever you could.
Yeah, just I don't know. It was just always an interest I had in making music. My objective was I just wanted to make a mixtape. Like that's all I wanted us to do. Let's just make a mixtape, and then we can retire and
Yeah.
and just have something to show our kids or whatever. Like, and it just went further than that. Like everybody, like I don't know if it was everyone who was making music back then, because people have always been making music. It's just more accessible now. But yeah, I just wanted to express myself, and he rapped and I rapped, and we're just like, let's just get some beats and see what we sound like.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what was like I listened to your song oh man, I can't think of the name of it right now. It's in the chorus. The your most popular song right now on your Spotify discography.
Is it Mind Your Business?
It is Mind Your Business. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So that song I kind of conceived like 3 years ago. Like yeah, about 3 years ago. I just made the beat. I sampled a scene from The Fresh Prince, where Will is teaching Ashley how to defend herself against bullies.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I sampled that, and I was like, this could be a fire song. And that's kind of how I did it. Like, I did that with the song Beat That Ass, too. I sampled that, like, and so, yeah, that beat has been around for a while. And then I finally wrote something to it. I recorded it. The video was shot like a while ago, a year and a half ago, but I only just released it in October. So, yeah, that's yeah, that's a song I've had in the arsenal for a while, and finally dropped it, and people liked it, and people liked the video. Um, so yeah, it's not like a whole crazy backstory to that song.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just kind of
Definitely.
the
I mean, I
usual.
thought it was pretty fire, so I wanted to ask you about it.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
You got like a pretty unique style in terms
yeah,
of your flow. What
yeah.
inspiration would you say that comes from?
So I listen to so much, like such a diverse array of music in general, but rappers, of course, like um, Bone Thugs and Harmony is the group that kind of got me into music, got me into rapping. So there's that, and then you know, I I feel like I have a lot of influence from ODB and Ludacris and Eminem
I
and
can I can definitely feel like the old school rap vibes
yeah,
in your flow.
yeah, and so I kind of I just yeah, there's just so many different artists that I kind of just get that from.
Yeah, definitely.
Just energetic type of stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's a fire pendant you got there.
Yeah, ball is life. Ball
Yeah.
is life. I've been playing a lot this winter. Yeah.
Where you play ball at?
I go to the Y downtown, and got my membership there. That's kind of how I keep myself sane during the winter time, because all I'm doing is, reading and playing basketball and school stuff. So not really working right now. Just even music. Like I'm kind of,
Yeah.
aside from playing in a show, that's all I'm really doing right now musically. Like I got a song coming out in a couple of days as well, but yeah, I keep myself sane by playing basketball. So I go down to the Y and kind of just keep myself active, keep myself in shape,
For sure.
and yeah, it's good times down there. So yeah,
You want to talk about your show coming up?
yeah, for sure. So March 9th, I'm doing a show at the North Brewery in Endicott, and sort of a release show. I dropped my album Deuce Deuce on December 1st, and I wanted to do it earlier, but I just
Yeah.
had a lot going on, so I'm just like moved it back to March 9th, and so that's technically the release show. I'll be performing the whole project live. I got my guys Theodore, Tone Chop, and JR the Kid, who two of those three are featured on my album, Theodore and JR the Kid. And I added Tone Chop. I wanted him to be a part of the show too, because Tone Chop is like one of the OGs in Binghamton as far as like rap goes. He's been doing it for over 30 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I'm gonna have some CDs for anyone who attends. Give out some CDs, sign them, and the whole deal. So yeah, I got a flyer on my Instagram page and everything.
Yeah.
If people want to check that out,
It's also right there right now.
yeah,
It's on the
for
screen.
sure.
We're
For
looking at
sure.
it.
Yeah, boom,
Yeah.
editing. Yeah, so that's kind of all. That's my main focus right now, is just getting that out there, selling tickets and stuff.
Definitely. So you run an open mic as well?
Yeah, so at the Garage Taco Bar, Tuesday nights, 7 to 9 right now, but soon we might go back to 7 to 10. But yeah, it's pretty dope. Garage Taco Bar, open mic every Tuesday. And yeah, people can come through, sign up on the spot, and do whatever they do, like rap, sing, dance, comedy, if they're good at comedy. And
What kind of crazy stuff have you seen at your open mics?
Man, well, I mean, there's a few people who just like kind of stand out. I don't know, like crazy things. Like,
Yeah. What's something that really caught your attention above all things else that have come to your open mics?
I would say there's this guy who comes every once in a while. Richard Travis. He's pretty wild. He's just got this. Just brings his guitar and just fucking. I can't even like describe. He's just like
Yeah.
completely like wild and just screams like.
Solid.
There's a guy, my guy Nerve Map. Um, his name's John, but we call him Nerve Map, and he'll just like fuck around, like he'll just like scream, like I don't know, kind of the same kind of deal, like he'll just like just like random shit.
Yeah.
Like one time he just like leaned over a wall and just like he was like vomiting out his lyrics. He was like leaning over the wall. There's who else? You know, of course we got like people who are like regulars there almost every week, like Jabari, Ranger Ty, like a duo. They're partners, but they're also, you know, musically partners as well. So, and they're both fire. You know, who else? Jeez, there's just my guy Eric Square. He brings out his megaphone and runs around with a megaphone. There's a lot of unique acts. There's Edge and Baby Lou. Those are my guys. They come through. They always put on a great show. There's just so much to name, you know. So it's yeah. There was a magician that I always been thinking about magicians coming through. He never performed though. He disappeared before he was able to perform.
Dang.
Yeah, that was his act. But yeah, and so in the summertime when we go outside, it's like it's the best possible environment.
Yeah.
You know, you got the fire pits and you know the warm weather and
Dude, at a taco bar, that's like
Hell
the best
yeah.
place for an open mic.
hell yeah, it's excellent. It's excellent. Like inside it's dope too. It's just like the outside vibes, like
Yeah.
unbeatable
When it's warm out and you can just be outside chilling, it's a whole
For
different
sure.
vibe.
for sure. Yeah.
How'd you get started doing that?
My homegirl Cassie Gibson, she lives in Atlanta now. But you know, when she was out here a couple of years ago, she was the one running it originally. She started it. And so I asked her once, I was like, who's going to take over when you go to Atlanta? Because she kind of like only like a couple months in advance, like said like, yeah, I'm going to be going back to Atlanta now. And I was like, who's going to take over? She's like, do you want to take over? And I was like, shit, that's crazy you ask because I just bought all this shit, all this equipment for Porch Fest. And so it was crazy because like I had never had my own equipment. I never had speakers. I usually all that was provided. And then one year at Porch Fest, I was told like everyone had to bring their own equipment. Like I was like shit. So I just happened to buy all that stuff. And then when I asked her that, I was like, oh, I knew there was like a reason for me to have all this. I didn't want to have to only bring it out once a year. And so I was like, yeah, I'll take over. And so I did, November of 2022. And so, yeah, I've been doing it for over a year now. And yeah, it's awesome. It's definitely a good move, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So back to your rap progression.
Yeah.
You just recorded a couple songs. How'd you move forward when you said it just kept going after you decided you wanted to just make a mixtape?
Yeah.
What happened to just make it keep going?
So in 2013, that's kind of, you know, when me and my bro started recording. I remember asking him like, "Do you want to take this seriously?" Because I was like, I didn't know how I felt about school. I was doing civil engineering,
Yeah.
and I was just unsure about it. I liked music, but I just felt like taking that career path was just felt lonely. Like I didn't know too many people who wanted to be musicians, um, and so I just asked him. I'm like, "Yo, do you want to like do this? Like, do you want to like pursue this?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Okay," like like we were both pretty into it, so we just would link up and write every day. Um, he eventually moved back to Brooklyn. Now he's in Florida, and so he's doing podcast stuff and working on brands and stuff of his own. But I continued with the music consistently. Like, and by the end of that year, I did a talent show, BSU talent show at Broome, and yeah, it was just like I just got thrown into it. I was like, yeah, I'll do this talent show, and I got second place.
Damn.
Yeah, out of like 20 people, so it was definitely a good moment. I met DCX, which is like a local group, kind of like a label,
Yeah.
Diverse Cultural Excellence, and a couple of them were at the talent show, and they were looking for artists, and so they kind of like found me, they recruited me, and I eventually got involved with them, and I did more shows around BU. Um, we did stuff like Spring Fling. We would do fashion shows there every year in April, and did fashion shows downtown Binghamton, and we were just like setting up all these events, and I was just one of their main artists. We would make songs together, like all the artists on the label, and so for about 6 years, that was kind of like how I learned how to perform.
I see.
And so yeah, it was just like it was like a whole operation. And so after a while, I kind of felt like I was putting out albums. I put out an album in 2016, 2018, 2019, and just kept dropping albums. Not really like knowing exactly what to do or where to go with it. I was just like, I'm just keep making material and keep showing my face around Binghamton.
Yeah.
And after a while, it kind of got me familiarized with people. And then, back at the beginning of 2020, I kind of like went off on my own because I kind of just felt like, I just want to do my own thing. And so for the past 4 years, I've been doing my own thing. And so I never really stopped, kept
Yeah.
going. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
What's your plans for the future? Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, so right now I've just been dropping singles. Like the way I've kind of organized my last album, I dropped everything as a single basically, which I've never done before. I would usually just drop one or two singles and just drop the album, just as any industry artist would. But I'm like, I might as well take like a different route, drop singles so that people can actually kind of like get to know each individual song.
Definitely.
Because you drop albums and people listen to one or two songs and they're just like, okay,
Yeah.
those are my songs. And I feel like a lot more, the songs get more recognition if they're released as singles. So that's kind of what I'm doing now with my next project as well. I dropped a single in December called Late December. And now I have a song coming on Valentine's Day called Memories, which is pretty dope. So looking forward to that. And then, yeah, just kind of trying to like make myself like establish more of a brand. I have a website that's been up for about a year, so hopefully I can start getting like my merch on there too. But you know, for now, I just got my CDs coming in and probably gonna make some more shirts and whatnot. And just kind of get that brand
Have you been able to
full.
make a living from shows or merch or at all?
Mostly just the garage is like where I get most money from. Is just like open mic, you know.
I see.
You know, get paid weekly to do that. So yeah, that's like the biggest
That's a pretty nice gig.
thing. Yeah, for sure. And you know, I think certain events that I partake in where, you know, if money comes in, then, you know, I get paid. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know when money's gonna come your way, but if you can kind of like establish that consistent thing where you're at a venue and you're just constantly bringing value to that venue,
They're gonna
and you
provide
can-
you value.
yeah. So that's basically what it's been for me. But at the end of the day, it's like right now my main move is it's kind of why I decided to go back to school, is kind of get involved in you know, I'm doing IT management because I feel like there are so many skills in that field that revolve around what I do, you know.
Yeah.
Because when you're an artist, you're pretty much an entrepreneur. If you gotta sell yourself, you gotta make yourself, you gotta make a product around your character.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, I'm basically a business, and you gotta learn how to manage that business. And just like learning about new technology and shit like that is cool. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of just like trying to bring everything full circle right now, and, you know, make it really kind of just plug myself into like what I am and who I am, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You got anything else you're working on right now? I mean, music wise? I know you said you were kind of taking a break, but
Yeah, well, you know, I recently I opened up a meth lab. No, I'm playing.
making sure you're paying attention, folks.
That was a joke, feds. No, yeah, right now just kind of taking some time to set up my remaining singles. I'm working on a project right now. I'm not gonna say too much about it. It's just more kind of like a personal thing. So that's kind of like the theme right now is just like personal things that have been going on inside my head, and that's the theme of this project. So I might not drop singles for a while. I did record recently with my man D Brown. Shout out to D Brown in Ithaca. That's my guy. We recorded a song. So that might come around the corner. If not, maybe just like take a few months to kind of like recalibrate myself and figure out, you know, where to go now. But yeah, I'm kind of just trying to you know, do my school thing right now, but still be consistent, you know, still doing podcasts and ciphers, and
Yeah.
that's basically like what I'm thinking is just like, you know, expand, because upstate New York has a lot of great artists. I met a lot of them recently, you know, like did a cipher back in September, the Bridge Upstate cipher.
I've seen stuff about that on Instagram.
Yeah, so my man Zach G, shout out to him. I want to shout out to him because like what he did is like really big, really important. Him and Angel, who are kind of like, they kind of made the Bridge Upstate. I think I don't know too much about. Like I just remember meeting a few of them, but yeah, they did a cipher in September and put up a bunch of reels, and a couple of them went viral. So, and I met a lot of good artists from all over, you know, Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester, whatever. And
Has that opened up any opportunities for you?
yeah, it's just put me on to people from other cities. So if I'm thinking maybe I might want to go do a show out, you know, wherever. If I want to do something in Rochester, I can find people in Rochester and figure something out, you know. Kind of just want to like expand, you know, get myself around, you know, upstate more, you know, because I've been
Definitely.
going back and forth between Binghamton and New York City, but there's like a whole world up here too,
Yeah,
you know, so it's just helpful to kind of like get myself, you know, plugged into as many different cities as possible. It's
I
kind of what I've been
wanna
thinking.
I wanna organize a beatbox event
Yeah,
locally.
yeah,
Maybe get a couple professionals out, but
yeah,
funding for an event is definitely
yeah.
challenging.
And I know so many dope beatboxers. Like, I could definitely bring them out, you know.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but yeah, like funding is yeah, that can be tough. Is if you're trying to do it like on this, like make a grand thing out of it, but
yeah.
you know, gotta just
Might have to start small.
work together, make it like a beneficial thing for the community, like, you know, like a day in the park beatboxing, and
Yeah,
and you can hold like a beatboxing competition or just like a showcase, and then also like invite kids and teach them to like not talk to police and shit like that,
yeah,
and just like like organize, you know what I mean, like bridge the gap, except, you know, better, you know what
definitely.
I mean.
For sure.
There's just so many different ways you can integrate it, you know, and
I feel like it has such a positive impact on whoever like enjoys it. Like if you go to a beatbox event, you're not gonna have a bad time.
right, like there's like even if they're battling,
Yeah.
like when I do rap battles, I used to battle. I mean, I might still, I don't know, maybe I'm retired, haven't figured it out yet, because there's a lot of negative energy, I feel.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just like if I'm like, yo, I'm a better rapper than you and I slept with your mom, like it's like it's like yo, it's hard to like, I don't know, I'm
Words hit a lot harder than sounds.
yeah, like I don't know, like I'm pretty solid when it comes to like, I don't get mad, but at the same time it's like I've felt less competitive in recent years. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and it's hard to feel less competitive and still want to partake in rap battles. But as a, you know, if you're beatboxing, it's like, I don't know if any like drive-bys have ever occurred because of a someone took a beatboxing loss too hard. Like, like,
Yeah.
and if so, like they just drive by making beatboxing gun sound effects. It's like like I don't think anyone's ever been hurt.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you want to talk about rap battling? Cause I don't really know much about that scene. I mean, I've
Oh,
seen 8 Mile, but
it's like oh man. Yeah, it's not as, it's different because when I was younger, I always thought, you know, I like to rap, but I would never be able to battle. And then eventually I ended up battling, and it wasn't as tough as I thought it would be. Because, you know, the current way things are, you prepare for a battle, you write, you know, some battles have like improvised lines that people just, you know, do on the spot, which I've done a couple times, but most of the time when I'm battling somebody, it's been written, and um, that's just kind of how it is. So, and then you practice it for a couple months, and it's cool. Like it's honestly like a really dope art form, you know. And I did that back in 2017. They had this thing called Blacktop Battles, which was local, and it was just like, I think there was like only actually one battle that occurred on Blacktop, but otherwise it was like indoors or, you know, on the grass top battles.
yeah.
So it was like, I did that a couple times, and made some friends, made some connections, and then just tried some different leagues. Um, so yeah, there was kind of a battle scene out here, um, and
I
it was
didn't know
probably
there's
even
leagues to
yeah,
rap battling.
yeah. No, there's leagues. There's like Smack URL and shit like that. That's like King of the Dot. They
Oh, I've heard of King of the Dot.
Yeah, there's like I Battle, which is a couple friends of mine are involved in that. So yeah, there's leagues all the way from that to like local stuff, and I mostly just did like local stuff. I did like Kill Switch, shout out to Kill Switch down in Harlem. I did that. That was my most recent, and but it's just like it's such a commitment, So it's like it's hard for me to want to do that and all this other shit that I'm doing. So
Yeah, and I mean,
yeah,
no one gets famous being a rap battler.
yeah. I mean, like
I mean, you can, but
in yeah, it I feel like it kind of puts you in a box, but I'm not gonna say like there aren't great battlers,
definitely.
Like there's like one of my favorites, Loaded Lux, There's and there's people like Murder Mook. There's people like Head Ice. I don't know. These are just like names that come off the top, but they're not household names. You know what I mean? And I think it kind of puts you into a box. And I didn't want to be like just known as a battler, And,
Yeah, you got to be your own independent artist on top of that.
I just enjoy expressing myself. It's kind of similar to when I play basketball. Like I go to the gym and I just shoot around alone.
I see.
I don't necessarily like.
Do you get competitive with it at all?
With basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I do, but I'm fine just going to the gym and shooting around.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of how music is. Like I just enjoy being, on my own, writing to my own beats and just showing myself to the world through music, Battling is kind of like a whole different switch that I have to flip. And I don't know. I'm not saying I'm never gonna battle again. It's really something that's is not on my mind right now, and maybe someday. But it's definitely an interesting chapter of the Soup saga.
Definitely.
And I might do more. I don't know. It is a nice way to like, if you're not like into. It's a nice way to network and get your name out there without having to, focus too much on like social media and shit like that. It's definitely, in my opinion, easier to just like get out and battle as much as possible. Because people will invite you. Most of the time, you're not gonna like have to pay, like because people be charging artists to perform and like.
That's messed up,
I
man.
used to, and back, years ago, it was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll pay. And now it's like, wait, we're artists, like we're the reason this is happening. Like, there's 15 artists, and we're all paying to be a part of a show. Like, come on, like.
Yeah, they should be paying you to
there's
be there.
There's a million different ways to get money, and like artists charging artists, like I don't know, I'm not with that, so.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hoping, like with the show that I'm doing, enough people come up and attend because I'm selling tickets for $10. If you buy online, and it'll be $15 at the door. But still, if people show up, they get something for free. They get CDs, and they get a full show with 4 different artists.
Definitely.
Like 3 or 4 hours of just good live performances.
$15, that's a great deal.
So it's and the other guys there will be, giving away their merch and selling some stuff as well. So, you get a lot out of it, and hopefully we can get enough people to attend where I can pay them,
Definitely.
Because I feel like if I'm inviting an artist to my show, they should be getting paid,
For sure.
Like, they're supporting this event, they're making it possible. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I forgot how I got onto that, but
yeah. How do you
talking
produce
about basketball and battling? There's so much. How do I produce?
Yeah, like what do you use?
I started off using Fruity Loops, which to me is like one of the easiest DAWs
Yo, I just realized that FL Studios stands for Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I just realized that.
Yeah.
I thought they were two different softwares.
No, they're the same thing. Like I was using FL10, and it's really easy to like just mess around with and figure out how to, you know, because when I started, it was everything sounded like so like robotic, and because if you just put strings on and shit like that, it's just like beep, like
Yeah.
it just sounds so jagged. But when you mess around with it, you can smooth out a little bit, and I just like really try to make it sound smoother and more natural, and
Yeah.
you know, eventually started using Logic on my MacBook. I went from a Windows to a Mac guy, and so I got Logic. I got my little mini keyboard and plugged that in, and then I just started playing instead of like clicking everything.
Yeah.
Just started playing, and I was like, oh man, this is amazing. This is so much better, and just really try to make my shit sound as natural as possible. And yeah, so I use that. Now I'm trying to learn like, cause I got a new laptop, has GarageBand, which probably isn't. I don't think is as good as Logic or FL, but
It gets the job done.
yeah, it's definitely got an easy learning curve, and so I'm just messing with that. So because that's what I got right now. I've never paid for any DAWs or anything. I just cracked them, or allegedly. I know
Allegedly.
the feds are still watching. Theoretically, hypothetically, in an alternate universe, I didn't pay for this stuff.
Yeah.
So but that's kind of what I'm doing right now. But I haven't really made too many beats over the past 2 years. Like everything that I've been dropping has just been in the vault,
How much do you got in the vault?
I don't know, probably couple. I would say maybe like 40 or 50.
That's quite a bit.
Unused. Yeah, it's not that much, but it's there. It's
That's
ideas,
a lot of songs.
stuff floating around. They're not all complete, but
Oh yeah.
they're just ideas.
Yeah.
They might just be like a small loop, or might just be like a fully finished beat that I don't really know what to do with. But that's kind of how like the past few songs, or like the one that I just recently recorded up in Ithaca, has been. It was just a beat that I had that I was gonna put on my last project, and I didn't know what to do with it. But now I'm like, a couple months ago I listened to it again. I'm like, I knew exactly how to put it together. So
Yeah.
I might have even had the lyrics written. I don't really remember. I just was like, okay, it's time to record this. Boom, and now it exists, and
Solid.
so hopefully that can come soon as well. But yeah, just shit in the vault,
Did I cover everything that is the Supreme Soup, or?
Pretty much. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know. I'm just.
You got the merch and the music.
The merch, the music, the show, March 9th. That's
the open mic.
Open mics, yeah. I don't know when this is gonna be out, but February 21st is the next writers open mic at the Garage. So writers, poets, storytellers. That'll be the next thing, and then yeah, March 9th, Deuce Deuce live at the North Brewery, 6 p.m. Flyers on my Instagram page, Real Soup, REALSOUP.
It's gonna be in the description.
Yazerski.
Go look at that.
Yazerski.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So, how's everybody else doing? What you guys working on? My turn.
All right.
I used to do this. I used to dead ass like do WHRW at Binghamton.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I used to interview people and like I miss that shit. I'm always like the one being asked questions and I used to like, but we used to talk about bullshit. We were just like,
Dude, that's how the podcast got started.
Yeah.
It's just me and the boys talking about some crazy shit. Some
Yeah.
conspiracy theories.
yeah, like we would just talk about like whatever's going on. Like that's kind of like I would interview them for like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. The show was like 3 fucking hours. So honestly, it was probably like at least a half hour of interviewing. And then we would talk about like celebrity gossip. Like right now, if I was doing it, we'd probably be talking about Drake's dick.
Dude,
Like
the memes, bro. The memes are unreal.
we'd be talking about Drake's dick. I'm glad I got off Twitter. So I haven't been on Twitter in a year. So I've missed all the disgusting shit. But yeah, that's the type of shit we talk about. Yeah. But yeah. How's
Yeah.
everybody doing?
I mean, it's going pretty good. I recently reached 100 listeners in 60 days.
That's
so
fire.
that means I can release subscription episodes, and there's already
fire.
one out. So
That's fire.
if you'll want to listen to
Hell yeah.
that. But on top of that, I've been booked up with podcasts quite a bit.
Yeah.
The growth this year's been crazy so far.
Yeah. That's how it is. Like you just stay persistent, you know? And it just
Yeah.
yeah.
I used to have trouble finding guests, and now I'm having trouble scheduling them in. So
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
a much better problem to have.
Yeah, I can throw some people your way.
Solid.
Yeah. They might be you know, meth dealers. No, I'm kidding.
The feds write the shit
Jokes. Jokes. That's what I do. I just joke as much as possible so that when I accidentally incriminate myself, they're just like, is this a joke? Is he joking? Or like, you never know if this guy's serious.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Gotta throw him off.
Yeah.
Gotta throw him off the trail.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
For sure. Yes, sir.
So, I guess that's all I got for you.
Hell
you got
yeah.
anything else for me?
Um,
What about you, Matt?
I ain't got a mic. I
You
don't
don't-
got too much else to say.
All right.
word. All right. Love y'all.
Well, thanks for
Fine.
tuning in to this
Hell
episode
yeah.
of Highly Intelligent. This has been the Supreme Soup. All right.
I heard you beatbox about my mama.
You guys have a good time. Thanks for watching this episode of Highly Intelligent. And don't forget to watch next week's episode.
See you later.
Yeah.